Coming from flat-out developer Bugbear Entertainment, it's clear that Unbounded isn't your daddy's Ridge Racer. The exuberant arcade announcer is out and destructive carnage is in. But does this explosive racer hold up, despite its tenuous ties to the brand?
There are many of us that strive to destroy the hollow foundations this city was built on.
Unbounded's City of Shatter Bay is split up into 9 districts, each with 7 events to complete. As you accumulate points for various feats, you'll unlock more cars, events, and new parts of town. Even if you don't win a race, the game lets you keep your earnings, letting you try something else if a particular event gives you trouble. The majority of events are domination races, which involve taking out other drivers and smashing through buildings to win. Meanwhile, Shindo races take away your destructive abilities for contests of pure speed, although they tend to be much easier. There are also drift challenges and time attacks that often take place on stunt courses with ramps and half-pipes. Rounding out the modes are frag attacks, challenging you to demolish as many drivers as possible within a set time limit, frequently putting you in a cab of a semi-truck ramming through cop cars. While destruction is a big theme, Ridge Racer Unbounded also has a creation mode that lets you build tracks and bundle together collections of up to 5 events. In comparison to a game like Mod Nation Racers, the tools are fairly simple. You're essentially given whole blocks with turns, tunnels, or bridges, fully populated with background elements and destructible buildings. Once you've connected the pieces from beginning to end, you can then drop in additional elements like bushes, explosives, loops, and ramps. Unfortunately, you have to keep a close eye on your resource budget if you want to complete your track, and AI doesn't always know how to navigate around your additions, so you may see cars falling from the sky near a loop, or racers crashing straight into the side of a half-pipe. The bigger issue is that the tracks in the career are also built with this modular structure, so you'll venture to another side of town only to find that new sections of track are intermingled with reused corners and buildings that you're already familiar with. It's initially disorienting, and after a few hours, everything just starts to blur together. Since everyone's using the same building blocks, the only thing to distinguish user creations from the developers is the arrangement of ramps and explosive trucks. Going online allows you to browse player-created tracks or challenge yourself in highlighted user events. Multiplayer options, however, are fairly limited. There's no lobby browsing, no offline split screen, and your choices basically amount to whether you want to play quick matches on default courses or user courses. Within a lobby, you can queue up a set of user events, but if you don't like a set that you've started, the option to change events doesn't work between races. There don't seem to be many players online, but it doesn't help that the countdown to race starts as soon as a second player appears in the lobby. Since you can't wait around for a full room of players, most races are one-on-one or 3-way affairs, which is a shame since battling it out with another player is easily the most fun Unbounded has to offer. Make no mistake, Unbounded's only similarity to traditional Ridge Racer games is the vague notion of gaining boost by drafting behind other cars and drifting around corners. The drifting mechanics are vastly different, taking more effort to master and providing more satisfaction when you do hit a corner just right. Once your power meter is filled, it not only gives you a boost of speed, but allows you to punch through targeted buildings or take out other drivers. If you try to smash through a building without the system engaged, you'll simply wreck, no matter how fast you're going. Traffic isn't a concern. You can plow through filler vehicles without consequence, and demolishing city property is one of the ways you gain power in domination races. However, there's no good way to tell what can and can't be destroyed. Some walls smash apart like styrofoam, while other barriers stop you dead in your tracks. The destruction isn't as impressive as Split Second, rarely amounting to more than a hole through a few walls, and many of the shortcuts don't result in much of a lead. Likewise, the crash cam that highlights collisions with other drivers suffers from clumsy transitions. With your car on autopilot during these moments, you may lose momentum when the race resumes, or conversely, you can cheat your way through corners by smashing an opponent beforehand. The constant interruptions are especially detrimental in frag attacks, and the game plays smoother in general when the crash cam is turned off. Challenge is somewhat inconsistent. One race has you struggling to make third, while another puts you far ahead of the pack, and the AI doesn't play by quite the same rules. Other drivers will never bash through buildings or blow up tanker trucks, letting you revel in all the flash. At the same time, it's clear that their boost recharges automatically, making it easy for them to keep up or to smash you at the finish line. Of course, unpredictability comes with the territory with an arcade racer, and while you're still discovering new terrain, it's genuinely fun to bust through gas stations and frag other drivers. Every time you encounter a new destructible building, it's like seeing a birthday present that you can't wait to tear open. Ridge Racer Unbounded looks nice in general, but it's rough around the edges, and some effects like the dazzling lens flare are a bit excessive. While not in any way realistic, Unbounded's gratuitous vehicle destruction is fun to watch. Menus are nicely designed, and some race data is displayed across the environment, but there's currently a bug that blasts a wall of text on screen whenever you're competing online. For all the wanton destruction, the audio design sounds muffled as you bash through buildings. And sometimes debris tumbles by without so much as a clatter. The playlist sticks to some driving electronic beats, mixing licensed picks from the likes of Skrillex and the Crystal Method with new and returning songs from series veterans.
The streets are ours.
With an emphasis on vehicular carnage and shattering buildings, Ridge Racer Unbounded rides high as long as you can find new thrills. However, the way it recycles elements from course to course quickly wears away the sense of discovery and makes it hard for user creations to truly stand apart.